I'm on live today to discuss the tragic incident in which at least 19 people died in a bus accident near Kurnool. As per the details, the Hyderabad Bengaluru bus carrying 41 passengers and two drivers has hit a bike at around 2:30 to 3 a.m. and caught fire. The fire was attributed to the leaked petrol from the bike, which was trapped under the bus and it was apparently dragged for more than 100 meters. 23 passengers could manage to escape through broken glass windows of the bus, and rest of them remained victims to the accident. Within no time, the bus was completely engulfed by fire. The first-hand information from the accident spot reveals that it was utter confusion due to accident, traffic, and rain. Later, the police people from other vehicles and ambulances could help and shift the injured passengers to local hospital in Kurnool. The police and concerned officials are taking out the dead bodies from the bus and collecting DNA samples from the accident spot. All the 19 bodies have been taken out of the charred bus, while the prime reason for this accident is the motorbike which has hit the bus. But the road transport department officials blame it on overspeeding. To get some more details, crucial details about the accident and such incidents in the past, I am joined by my colleagues, Mr. Ravi Reddy, resident editor, Telangana, Deputy Editor, Mr. Mari Ramu, Special Correspondent, Saeed Mohammed, and Principal Correspondent, Darshan from Bengaluru. To start with, Mr. Ravi Reddy, can you tell us what's your take on the accident and give us details about such incidents in the past?
Uh, Good evening, viewers. This is Ravi Reddy, resident editor of the Hindu Telangana. Yeah, this happens to be one of the worst bus accidents that has taken place in the Telugu-speaking state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh in the last one decade. If you look at a similar incident, we can go back to 2013 when Bengaluru to Hyderabad bound private bus of Jabbar Travels also crashed into a road divider and 45 people were charged to death. This is said to be the worst road accident on the NH44 that connects Hyderabad all the way through Bengaluru, Tamil Nadu to Kanyakumari. This is NH44 Srinagar to Kanyakumari National Highway, one of the busiest south-north corridor, I would say. But there are a lot of other such incidents also. In Telangana, if you look at some of the worst incidents, one incident took place in 2018 near Kondagattu, which claimed 57 lives. This is the worst accident in both the Telugu-speaking state. And if we come down to again the NH44, there was one accident way back in 2019 when 15 people of again traveling in a luxury bus on Hyderabad Bengaluru sector were killed when the bus rammed into a small two-wheeler and then got into the other lane and hit a oncoming MUV. 15 people were killed. So per se, if you look at the situation, it's basically overspeeding, recklessness on the part of these drivers, particularly the private bus operators on this Hyderabad Bengaluru sector. And some of the buses, you would be surprised that some of the buses from Hyderabad operate up to as long as Kanyakumari, Nagarkoil in Tamil Nadu, and then you have Ernakulam, Tiruvananthapuram also they have this private bus operators, not only from Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, but even Karnataka and Tamil Nadu and Kerala bus operators are also in this race of picking up passengers. So overall, we can see that even though the Telangana government has put lot of emphasis on road safety, carrying out checks time and again, and then they have put speed limit boards all along this 210-kilometer stretch from Hyderabad till Pulluru checkpost, which is the gateway to Andhra Pradesh Rayalaseema. But still, you find so many buses overspeeding, and in the race to reach Bangalore in 7 or 7.5 hours time after the exit from the ORR. So, such is you can imagine the speed through which this must be traveling the buses, and you have to compete with other RTC buses also. So rather, we could easily say that this is a case of overspeeding and then reckless driving on part of this private operators, and then maybe whether we are not sure whether the two-wheeler driver was on the extreme left, or had he come on the middle of the road that the bus rammed into him and he died on the spot. So Apaji, I would rather say overspeeding is one of the reasons, and there is also every need for the police and transport department to look a serious view of this incident. And then if you look at the statement of Ponnam Prabhakar, it seems transport minister, he seems to be very serious. He says that next time such a major accident happens, the onus will lie on the owners of this bus operators, and the Telangana government would not hesitate to even register murder cases against the bus operators. So, which is a big statement. And
That's right.
another important statement that he made was that shortly he would invite AP and Karnataka transport ministers for a meeting to see how best we can ensure that there is a road safety on this particular stretch, and not only this stretch, is any national highways that connect other states. So it's a very tragic incident, Apaji. And then I think Murray Ramu would be the right person to give us more insight
Exactly.
in.
That's right. That's right. A lot of things to learn from the past, and the government is also
Thank you,
apparently
thank
is
you.
acting tough. Let's move on to the incident spot where Mr. Ramu has gathered some crucial details. Mr. Ramu, can you quickly tell us what the officials in police, transport, and other departments have to brief on the incident, challenges involved, and weather conditions, etc. Mr. Ravi, Mr. Ramu. Mr. Ramu, can you hear me? There seems to be some technical issue.
I think we seems to have lost connection with
Yeah,
Ramu.
there seems to be some technical issue. Meanwhile, can we go to the complaints and permits part? Mr. Saeed has
Hello,
some details about it. Yes, Mr.
hello.
Ramu. Yeah, Ramu is
Yeah,
back. Please go ahead, Mr. Ramu. We can
yeah.
see
I
you.
would like to
Yeah.
tell you first. I would like to tell the viewers about the how this accident has occurred. It's a coincidence that I'm traveling with railways and road safety SP Sandeep Rao and Ramesh Naidu IG railways. They are with me. I'm traveling in their vehicle. Now they have come here and they have examined the spot. Their assessment is this bike rider was coming in the opposite direction. So when the bus and this bike hit against one another, the bike rider got thrown from the bike and he fell on the roadside. He died instantly. Then the bike got stuck underneath the front part of the bus. It is not yet sure whether the driver was aware of this accident or because it was earlier 2:33:9. Instead of stopping immediately after the bus hit the bike, this driver continued to drive for another 200 meters. I personally saw the road tire marks, the vehicle scratch marks on the road. So once the bus continued to drag the vehicle which got stuck underneath the front part of the bus, the sparks got emanated and the sparks fuel tank burst. That's how suddenly there was suddenly huge flames. Those vehicles, that bike flames crept into inside the vehicle, inside the bus. That is one point. Second point is the most of the front and middle parts of the bus was completely gutted. The rear portion is actually not much damage. The front tires of the front two wheels and the entire middle portion from the front part of the bus till the middle point completely got gutted. Even the ceilings there, I could see the holes in the ceiling of the bus also. This is one point. So whether this point of the bike rider coming in the opposite direction is, police are verifying the cameras beyond this accident point to ascertain, this bike rider was coming in the opposite direction. The other points, like, how the rescue teams responded and all, because the local inspector Teja Murthy got first call, it seems around 3 past 1 minute or two. He immediately alerted the officers, all of them came. But unfortunately, by the time all the police teams fired, those who managed to escape by breaking the window panes, they got out. But those at the because it's a sleeper coach, on the upper berths and lower berths, there was very little scope for them to even to come out of the bus because the window panes, everything, the doors got locked. The investigating officer says because of the cables got snapped, the emergency doors could not be opened. So that's how all those 20 persons odd number, they got completely charred. There was no chance for them to escape from that accident. This is what has happened. This is my assessment from the spot.
That's a head-on collision. There was absolutely no time for the people to escape, and there's a lot of
Yes.
confusion. Thank you, Mr. Ramu. Let's move on to Mr. Saeed on the compliance and permits issue. Saeed, can you give us more details on regulatory framework and compliance? How about permits, maintenance, and certifications? Mr. Saeed.
Thank you. So from what the transport department officials say is that these buses, as in long distance buses, primarily function on an all India tourist permit, which allows them to travel from any part of the country to any part of the country. One of the things that came about, as in a question that was being asked, was in connection with the registration of the bus. So we see that it is a DD registration, but we later found out that this is registered in Odisha. Now, what usually happens is that once these permits are obtained, there is absolute freedom for these buses to ply the roads. I can tell you from a Telangana perspective, in the sense that when such incidents happen, especially like Ravi Reddy Saab was mentioning, in 2013, two key things are looked at, two key aspects are looked at. The first being the design of the bus, or rather three aspects. The first being the design of the original bus, the second being whether there have been any modifications, or for instance any extra seats have been added or not, so on and so forth. And thirdly, and most importantly, the road design. So these three key aspects are looked at during investigation. From what I have been told is that there are about, or rather less than 100 such buses, private buses, registered out of Telangana, and as compared to public transport buses across the country, there are about 1.5 lakh public, run by state transport undertaking authorities. The other thing that transport department officials were saying is, in general, I'm not talking about this case, a key aspect that drives people or other companies to operate buses registered in other states is the tax factor, as in they save on tax. There is some provision that they use to save on tax. So long distance buses, for example, have to pay, at least in Telangana, 4,000 rupees per seat per quarter. So there is something that happens there. There is some, it's a little unclear, but they use buses from other states so as to save on some tax component. In terms of violations, apparently, largely, again, this is what the authorities have told us. As in permits largely are, and this is a generalized statement, are in order. The violations that they see, and it's a very important thing, I believe, especially in this circumstance, is that the violations are in connection with not keeping first aid boxes, and more importantly, hammers to break these large glass panes which we get to see on these buses. I'm not sure what the case with this particular bus is, but in general, this is broadly speaking the issues that transport department officials have brought to light.
Yeah, a small question. Apparently, the travels management has responded on the complaints. Apparently, they have all the they stick to the complaints part of it. And do we have any details about that and what government has to say on that?
I think somebody from the AP Bureau has filed something on that aspect. I think they'd be in a better position to answer.
Definitely. Thank you, Saeed, for the details. It's very informative. The travel management, the bus management says that they are compliant, but the government is yet to respond on that. And let's quickly move on to Darshan from Bengaluru. Darshan, can you give us the government's take, how Karnataka is looking at it, and what's its experience in the past?
Thank you for having me here. And see, Karnataka government has already dispatched a team of officials from the transport department. Already, transport minister here in Karnataka, Ramlinga Reddy, told the media that a group of officials has been dispatched from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh to see what they can do regarding identifying the victims. There are any victims from Karnataka side also, and also assist their families. And as for just few hours back, Mr. Reddy, Ramlinga Reddy, Transport Minister, said that they are still verifying the details about how many victims are from Karnataka, and they have already directed the RTO officials, the nearest RTO officials, that is Bagipalli, in the border town of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, to look into the matter. This is what the Karnataka government is doing as of now.
Thank you, Mr. Darshan, for the details. So that's about the tragic bus accident, which has once again alerted us on the flip side of intercity bus travel and risks involved. That's all for today. Thank you. See you soon with more news. Thank you.